Alright, let's see what these have to say for themselves.
Catherine, about Thunderbrand.
This ought to go
I
well.
said my position would not change. Go home. You're not getting your hands on Thunderbrand.
I was not asking to, so stop being so overprotective. I have a different request today.
Oh, so you're nagging about something else. Just so you know, constant badgering isn't a very attractive quality.
I would appreciate it if you would use Thunderbrand somewhere that I might observe it in action. Since you have denied me the simplest path to my enlightenment, I decided instead that I should closely observe the relic in use.
Linhart, the hero's relics aren't showpieces. I only use Thunderbrand when I need its power. I won't waggle it around for your entertainment. You know, even though it's compatible with my crest, it still takes its toll on me. Every time I use it, it wears away at my soul. Not that you'd understand.
Is that so? Never heard that associated with the relics. Carry on.
Of course I don't understand. I've never used it.
Watch your tone. Remember who you're talking to.
Why are you so unwilling to let me study Thunderbrand in any manner? I wish to be a true Crest scholar. Learning all there is to know about the hero's relics is my duty. I could learn a great deal by using a relic myself, even if that did mean endangering my life, yet you deny me the opportunity.
Is this really a thing to get angry about?
Scholars who will not endanger their lives in pursuit of knowledge are worthless.
Scholars should be willing to lose their lives?
In a word, yes, which makes it all the more frustrating that you refuse my attempts at study. But I can't seem to convince you, so just forget all about it. Your bullheadedness wins the day, Catherine.
I have never seen Linhart this pissed off before. I should have unlocked this a long time ago.
I'll go ask someone else. If only I could use the Sword of the Creator. Without a crest stone, it won't respond. I wonder how it is that the professor can use it. The only explanation that makes any sense is... Could it be?
Holy crap.
He wants so badly to study crests, he'd risk his own life. That's impressive. I underestimated your tenacity, Linhart. But I have to protect you from yourself.
Huh. I like where this is going. Please, continue. Speaking of continuing, where's this gonna lead?
Hey, Caspar. You look more troubled than usual.
Yeah, I've been thinking a lot about the last time we talked. I really admire your strength, and I want to be like you on the battlefield. But I don't agree with your idea of justice. If that's the case, is it bad for me to look up to you? I'm not sure how to feel anymore.
I can't answer that. You'll need to find the answer on your own. I can offer one piece of advice, however.
Sure, anything will help.
When I told you I would cut down children with no hesitation, you looked disgusted. I take it that's the part you're struggling to accept?
Pretty much. I don't think I'd be able to do it, even if that meant disobeying orders.
Well, what if the children had their own weapons? What if they were trying to kill you?
Well, maybe if it was in self-defense, but even that...
What if the children were killing each other? Let's say their families had been slaughtered and they sought revenge. How would you stop the killing? Who would you strike down?
I don't know. I'd have to see what's going on for myself, but even then,
When you witness these horrors in person, it's no easier to decide. In fact, the decision is harder. Choosing to end or spare a life, whether to save someone or abandon them, these choices are always difficult.
Having to choose between life and death.
You have a strong sense of justice. You have clearly defined ideals. But that's not an asset on the battlefield. Ideals slow you down. They cause inner conflict. Making decisions in the spur of the moment, you can't hope to be perfectly fair and just. That's why I choose to fight for Lady Rhea's justice. The justice of the Church of Seiros.
But what about when Lady Rhea's ideals don't really line up with yours? Then what?
Not possible. Lady Rhea's ideals are my ideals.
That's a dodge, and you know it.
There's no conflict between them, because that's what I've decided. Do you see?
I don't get it. You can't possibly agree on everything.
Thank you, Caspar.
I have faltered in the past.
That's what I'm talking about. How can you blindly trust some other person's sense of justice?
Not a person, the goddess. I cared about someone, and they were branded a criminal. That's when I started down this path. I didn't know whether to turn a blind eye or mete out punishment.
What did you do?
I couldn't decide, so I looked to the goddess for guidance. Since then, I have devoted myself completely to the goddess. I surrender myself wholly to her will. So think carefully, Caspar. To what will you devote your sword and your heart?
No pressure. No pressure whatsoever. Alright, then there's a few with Seth. This one I know is new.
Good day to you, Seth.
Persistent, aren't you? If this is about my crest...
No. I thought we might speak of something else for a change.
Is that so?
Indeed. I am quite fond of conversation, even just for the sake of conversation. Just listen to an old man's worries, eh?
Very well. Go ahead.
Perhaps it's due to my age, but I've been troubled by lower back pain lately. Right now, I'm in the process of finding a good way to treat it.
Ah. If it is an ointment you're after, I think Manuela would know more than me.
Doesn't it make you nervous to rely on Manuela? I do not mind asking her about the pain itself, but...
What are you trying to say?
Oh, nothing. I'm only lamenting the fact that I am getting old. It is a pastime I'm not sure I enjoy. Yet I can't help but notice time hasn't taken such a toll on you.
That is fair. I wondered if it would come to that.
The signs of age may not write themselves plainly on my face, but I feel the strain of years as much as you.
Is that right? But then, that doesn't explain your sister.
Uh-oh.
Your sister, Flame, was born around the time I came to the monastery from the Empire, yes? In all that time, I never knew you to pay her a visit or to write her letters. Yet somehow, the two of you seem very close, like a family who has spent years together. Could this not suggest a different interpretation? Perhaps, like you, she has...
You will not pry into Flame's business.
Here it is.
If you interrogate her, no. If you even so much as inquire where she has been or what she has done, I will never forgive you. Never. Investigate me all you wish. I will even cooperate if I must. But Flame...
Calm down, Seth. I have no intentions of approaching Flame.
Do I have your word on that?
You have my word as a scholar and as a man. I do apologize for using your sister's name in that way.
Using her? What do you... Oh, that is low.
You promised me just now. Investigate me all you wish, you said. I will even cooperate, you said. Do you deny it? Those words were all I needed to hear. Now I have no cause to approach your sister.
You
Seems I
scum!
have no choice. To think I have been played the fool by a man of your age.
I'll let that slight go, now that I have your cooperation.
Even with my cooperation, there is no guarantee you will reach the truth.
Oh, Seteth, searching for the truth is what I do. And I will find it. I promise you that.
Then I suppose I will have to look forward to the day you prove your claims.
Oh dear. Good lord, I wonder if Hanneman ever figures out who Seth really is. Oh man, why isn't there an ace aboard for that? That would have been a conversation and a half. The problem is, given Seth, he probably wouldn't be forward with that information even if he did cooperate otherwise. But then again, apparently Hanneman was poking holes in his story, so... Huh. Curious and curiouser.
It seems I'm not the only one here. Manuela?
Oh, Sereth. Hello.
This is quite the surprise. I would not expect to find you here outside of ordinary prayer time.
Praying? No, I was just resting. Whenever I'm in the infirmary, I simply cannot get out of doing work. I need a place to sit and close my eyes.
There is no need to hide it. It is obvious you were praying quite solemnly just now.
No, I was just enjoying some old memories. That's all.
Do you really think that Seth is gonna fall for that?
In fact, I was just thinking about when my parents first brought me here as a child. I wandered off from my parents because I heard a beautiful voice. It was a woman, singing, somewhere just out of sight.
Was it Rhea? Curious.
I began to sing along, hoping she would hear me and that we might meet. I never found her, whoever she was. Yet it was she who taught me I could sing.
Interesting. I'd never heard that. But I suppose if you were only a child, this would be before I arrived at Garreg Mach. In any case, if that singing voice helped you find your way, then that is a wonderful thing.
I've never told anyone else, but I believe it was the goddess I heard. And that day, she gifted me my singing voice. And I thank the goddess for leading me back here after I left the opera company.
You know, when you speak of the goddess in this way, it is as though you are an entirely different person. If you were to behave that way more in your daily life, I would have a much higher opinion of you.
Oh, you're gonna get some backtalk for that one.
Oh, that's very sweet, coming from you, Sedith.
Wait, you took
Should
it?
I take that to mean that you like your ladies pious and respectable?
One little compliment and you completely lose control of yourself. What am I to do with you?
Oh, it's a joke. Look, I'm just no good at serious conversations. Although, I would be lying if I said I wasn't interested in knowing what kind of woman does get your attention.
As thanks for the touching tale you have shared, I will satisfy your curiosity just this once. My preferred woman is kind, quiet, and proper. But above all else, she is straightforward and honest.
Quiet. Proper. There's no need to be cruel, Sedith.
Come on, you know that something like that was gonna be said the moment you acted that way, and honestly, Sedith probably isn't lying either. Oh boy.
Sedith?
What, you're surprised to see him here?
Hello, Manuela. Is something the matter?
You surprised me is all. Though not as surprised as you when you found me here before. I've never seen you offering up prayers so solemnly.
I suppose I do typically make an effort to come here when no one else is around. Many look to me for guidance. I do not wish to disturb anyone's prayers with my own. But I did not come here only to pray.
Really? Then what were you doing?
I was swearing an oath to Saint Cethleen. She is a special figure to me. It's become part of my routine to swear this oath before her likeness. More than any other, she wishes for a peaceful world. I believe it is my duty to grant her wish.
I had no idea you held such a passionate secret devotion, Sedith. The legends of Saint Cethleen do depict her as a kind, proper, and honorable woman. And she was so gentle and quiet, really kept to herself. It's no wonder you're infatuated with her.
I think you may have misunderstood me.
Just a bit.
It must be very lonely to be so in love with someone from the distant past.
She is very special to me, yes, but not in that way.
You don't have to hide it from me, Sedith. I can keep a secret. But people from the past are gone. No matter how much you care for her, she can't love you back. Now then, if you turned your eyes to me, I could respond to your deepest, most powerful feelings.
Where are you going with this?
You are completely mistaken.
Are you gonna have to spill the beans to Manuela now? Where's this going? Alright, it's gonna be a lot focused around Catherine this round, so let's start from the bottom.
Hey. We don't need to have this conversation.
What conversation?
You don't know what I was going to say. Something about our vastly different approaches to life. Fine then. We don't need to talk about it.
When are you gonna crack?
Actually, really, sorry, you go first.
There it is.
I was gonna say I'd hear you out. Okay, let's talk about it. I will be faithful to Lady Rhea until I die. If I had to choose between you and her, I would choose her every time. I assume that disqualifies me from being your partner. Between you and Rhea, I'd choose you. But between you and me, I'd choose me. That probably disqualifies me from being your partner, too. Well, no. I'm quite fond of being alive. I don't intend to sacrifice my life either. If it came down to you or me, I'd choose...
What?
What's wrong? Nothing. You're not like the rest of the knights. Maybe someday you'll have to take a path that diverges from ours. What if we went to war with your country? It is a possibility. Maybe I shouldn't be thinking like that. The future is one of the great mysteries of life. We can worry about it when the time comes. But until our paths diverge, you're my partner. And I couldn't ask for a better one. You got that right. I'm the best there is.
Alrighty then. I'm okay with that. Begrudging respect from all involved works for me.
Hey, Sedith. I've been meaning to ask you, what is your relationship with Lady Rhea?
That is certainly an abrupt question.
You're much closer to her than anyone else in the entire church. Certainly you're a good, upstanding person, but I can't help but feel there's something more to it.
Supporting the Archbishop is my sole professional interest. Personally, I consider her to be something akin to a companion.
A companion?
Yes, as in a traveling companion. Friends who walk the same path toward the same destination.
Companion, huh? A companion. I guess that does sound about right, now that you say it. Though, I'll confess to being quite jealous. Not many people can call themselves companions of Lady Rhea.
I do not know how she feels about it.
Oh, come on. You must trust that she feels the same about you.
There is no need for that sort of trust. My duties are the same regardless of her perspective. I consider you to be a companion also.
A companion in fighting for the Archbishop.
Certainly. Our goals are firmly aligned when it comes to that, are they not?
You're right, they are. I suppose you and I could be considered companions in that sense.
I am pleased to hear my sentiment reciprocated. I rely on you a great deal, after all. More than most.
Whoa there, what's all this now? Flattery won't win you any prizes with me, Sedith.
I do not flatter. I merely want you to understand why it matters to me that you be more cautious in battle.
Ah, here
As
it
your
is.
companion, it is my wish for you to be safe.
Gotta loop it back around to her being reckless, don't you?
Oh, good, we're back in familiar territory, with you admonishing me.
Yep.
Don't worry, I'll be careful. I'll always try to live up to your expectations. So don't expect too much or you'll wear me out.
Oh boy. Now some more interesting ones, hopefully.
Linhardt, I understand you'd endanger yourself to realize your dreams. But why go this far? You never seemed like the type to put this much effort into anything.
Honestly, I find most everything annoying, which is most likely why you have such an opinion of me. But to continue my research without taking this chance to know the truth? What would be the point? Besides, ignorance can breed even greater dangers. For example, do you know for whom Thunderbrand was originally crafted?
The goddess.
Correct. And because of that, everyone just stops thinking about it. No one really knows what the relic is made of, how it was crafted, or what its very structure may be.
Well, you know what? By this point in the story, you don't necessarily know that, so I'm gonna let that stand.
Until we know those things and truly understand the power and the danger relics hold, we won't be able to gain any new knowledge. I'm tired of talking.
You tire too easily. But I think I understand your logic. If you really want to risk your life, I won't stop you.
Wait, what?
Just remember, Linhart, curiosity killed the...
I am not a cat. It will require more than my own curiosity to finish me off.
What about fate?
You've got guts, I'll give you that. But don't blame me if something bad happens.
If something happens, it happens. Finding out the truth means accepting the risks. Those who've identified plants, both poisonous and medicinal, took the same risk in eating each. I'm just like those people.
Okay, fine. I give up. You win. I'll let you hold Thunderbrand just this once. Go on, give it a try. And don't worry about something bad happening. I'll be right here.
You're actually accepting this. I mean, I suppose the conversation had to go somewhere eventually, but you're actually accepting this? Who are you and what have you done with Catherine?
I wanted to tell you I've decided to do things my own way.
I'm happy for you, Caspar. But I don't know what you're talking about.
Come on, you know, in life and death situations like we talked about. I spent a lot of time thinking, but it was tough to figure out. Then I realized I was wasting my time. I decided I should keep fighting the way that feels right to me.
I thought that might be your decision.
I've still got something important to ask you, though.
Something important, huh? Let's hear it.
Could you, keep an eye on me?
What? Why?
I may have decided to do things my own way, but I'm sure I'll still mess up sometimes. I might be able to avoid any real damage if a Knight of Saros has my back.
I see. Then I refuse.
Huh?
Oh, great. Thanks so much. I knew you'd... What?
After deciding to take your own path, you ask someone else to watch over you? It's like you can't think for yourself. Your simple-mindedness is kind of charming, but still.
I really thought you'd say yes. Now what am I supposed to do?
Carry
I don't
on.
know. I'm not your babysitter. You want someone to watch after you? Become the type of man people can't look away from.
Uh-oh. Be careful what you say around Caspar. He will take you seriously. Oh dear. Alright, it's the final round of church conversations before we get into the S supports. Technically, I haven't shown off the conversations between Lawrence and Catherine, but since I've seen them all, since I looked them up a while back, I can't really give a proper reaction to them. So the question is, how did these turn out?
Manuela, about what we discussed earlier with regard to Saint Cethline, I feel the need to correct your misapprehensions.
Oh, I won't expose your passion to the light of day. I told you I can keep a secret.
That's not it at all. How can I make you see? I suppose there is no other way. Allow me to tell you a very old story.
What kind of story? Is it about your past? Because there's a story I could enjoy hearing.
Are you actually gonna spill the beans?
I once had a wife. She passed from this world a very long time ago. She was wise, kind of heart, and always smiling. A most wonderful woman. Not long after we married, we were blessed with a child. A girl.
You had a wife and a daughter? Why would you have kept that secret?
To protect my daughter. That has been my foremost concern ever since I had the misfortune to lose my wife. It is my daughter who resembles Saint Cethline. That is why I make my oath to this statue.
Your story doesn't sound right to me. I don't mind saying it.
Where are you going with this?
Why is that?
When you talked about your ideal woman before, your description was almost exactly Saint Cethline. Now you're telling me your daughter is a perfect match?
It is not an exact resemblance. My daughter, for instance, is neither proper nor quiet. In any case, even in matters of love, an ideal seldom lives up to reality. That is the way of the world.
Do it again. Say, the way of the world with a serious
Wait,
face.
what?
You're so stern and proper, but you really can be quite funny. I love a man who can make me laugh.
I don't think that was meant to be funny.
My wife used to say the same thing. I never quite understood what was so funny.
I sound like your late wife? Don't tell me. I actually resemble her, don't I? Mirror image, I bet.
Absolutely not. Though, no, unthinkable.
Ask Flane.
The way you say it, I suppose I must resemble her a little. Wow, isn't that an honor? Say, Sedith, have you ever considered remarrying? You know, just so you're not alone?
It is not a thought that has ever crossed my mind. I have been too preoccupied with fatherhood.
It's been a long time since your wife passed, right? You should start thinking about it. There could be someone who finds you handsome, someone close by, maybe even right in front of you.
Whatever you said just now, I didn't quite hear.
I think you
To
did.
remarry. I'd never even considered it an option until you brought it up just now. My daughter will not want to remain by my side forever. Perhaps it is time I thought about it.
I'm surprised you're so cavalier about that fact.
I'd be happy to help you mull it over if you like. How about tonight? We could go out for a drink.
Are we back to this again?
Eh.
Very well. Just see that you do not drink too much. I would rather not have to carry you home.
Well, at least he loosens up a little bit.
Take that, you goons! And that!
You're not being careful.
No, Catherine's at it again. She has charged too far forward. I better join her before she... Are you all right?
That's what I was going to ask you. How could you be so reckless?
Speak for yourself, lady.
All those times you scolded me, and now you get yourself all beaten up. To think, nearly getting yourself killed in a minor skirmish like this one.
Quite right. Thankfully, I am not badly hurt. My apologies. I didn't mean to worry you.
What's gotten into you?
How do you mean?
Don't play dumb. I was supposed to patrol this area, not you. What are you even doing here?
Just happened to be passing through?
Sedith, this isn't like you bumped into me on a stroll around town. Nobody passes through a battlefield.
All right. I wanted to protect you.
What?
You'd pressed much too far ahead. I feared your life might be in danger. Once that thought occurred to me, I could not stand idly by. I had to shield you from harm.
Man, the voice acting is on point.
And you were injured in the process. I don't know what to say. Sedith, I didn't realize you worried so much about my safety. I apologize. And I'm grateful. I guess we really are companions.
I did not do this merely to assist an ally. I did it for you. I don't want to lose you. And if I am willing to risk my life to protect you, just think how much scolding I am capable of.
Uh-oh.
So you had best take better care of yourself.
All right, you've made your feelings clear. When you say it like that, I can't refuse. I'm sorry for making you worry all the time. I'll be more careful. I promise.
Please do. For my sake and yours.
Alrighty then. Now pretty much everything else is related to Catherine, so let's get through them.
So, now you've held Thunderbrand. Learn anything? What's going on? You look like you're going to faint. Is that Thunderbrand's doing?
No, not at all. My body is operating at its normal, healthy level of sleepiness. I felt no effect at all, honestly. Perhaps one exposure to the relic wasn't enough.
Don't tell me you want to get a hold of it again.
Of course not. There is a difference between taking a risk and being a fool. Interesting experiment, though. I used all my might, yet absolutely nothing happened. It seems if one's crest is not compatible, a relic simply will not work. To feel that response, to better understand the bond, that is more than enough for me.
I see. What will you do now? I assume your relic research is complete.
Not at all. I have other clues to follow, experiments to perform. That said, I would be pleased if someone who could use their relic with all their might would join in my research.
What? You don't mean me, do you?
Now that you mention it, I suppose you would fit the bill.
Where are you going with this?
Sure seems that's what you were getting at. Fine. When the war's over, I'll help with your research.
Oh, you will?
I figure if I don't do it, he'll find some other poor soul to bother. It's like I'm keeping a high-maintenance cat. You're endlessly curious.
So basically, you're wandering around the monastery as normal.
I am not being kept. The sentiment is welcome, but I am still not a cat.
Yes, you are. Speaking as someone who is called a cat by his friends, yes, you are a cat.
Yes! I did it! I finally got a hit on you!
Uh-oh.
Not bad. I didn't expect you to come this far.
I've been training non-stop, so it had to happen eventually. I've been using my head a lot more, too. I'm not the same old Caspar.
Then what kind of Caspar are you?
Well, if you're Thunder Catherine, then, I get to be... Lightning Caspar. No, that's no good. Fiery... No. Burning Caspar?
I wonder where all this fire of yours comes from.
Uh-oh.
It comes from wanting to fight by your side.
Sorry, what?
Are you surprised by this?
You said before that you don't want to keep an eye on me. Something about not being my babysitter?
Yes, I seem to recall saying something like that.
That's why I decided I needed to train and get to your level instead. I'm gonna keep getting stronger. That way I'll never have to leave your side. You and me were...
Stop. That's enough for now. You've only managed to hit me once. Let's see if you can actually beat me. If that happens, I'll hear your request.
In that case, you'd better get ready. I'm real fired up now. You're gonna have to start calling me... Inferno Caspar!
Why? Why? Can you be any more cheesy? You know what? You probably can't.
You're safe. I'm so relieved.
I was just on a mission. What's gotten into you?
I'm sorry. I've been thinking about the last time we talked. About our paths diverging. I've been a little afraid since then. Afraid that you might quit the Knights.
The terrible Thunder Catherine. Afraid? I thought you weren't afraid of anything.
I kinda thought so too. I realized that I might actually lose you someday, and that's scarier than I expected. I've never felt this way about anyone other than Lady Rhea.
You seem very passionate about this.
I guess so. I have many brothers and sisters in arms, but you're my only partner. I know you have my back, so I can focus on the battle in front of me.
I see. Catherine, I have to tell you something.
Where's this going?
I lost my first partner, which is why I can make no guarantees that this will last forever. But I want you to know, there's no one I would rather have at my side. I could never sever my bond with you. If there ever comes a day when our paths do diverge, know that I'll always be with you.
Thank you. I lost someone too. I thought we'd be together forever, but our lives went in different directions. Relationships are so fragile.
Of course. But that's enough of that. I can't stand any more of your vulnerable side.
Yes, please.
Sorry, partner. Hope I didn't worry you. I lost hold of myself there.
No need to apologize. It's what partners are for. If you'd like, we can start planning our next move.
Next move? What do you mean?
We can wed if you're that worried about losing me. I may tire of your company. You look a bit red. What's the matter, partner?
That was just unexpected. If you'll excuse me, I need some fresh air.
Wait, seriously? Are they serious about that? I thought Catherine and Shamir weren't options that way. Hang on, I need to confirm that. Yeah, they aren't. What, are they just not Byleth's type? They're clearly Byleth's type, and you know what? Huh. I heard there might have been some censorship regarding that, their tied fate, but is that real? Curious and curiouser. Huh. I'm not sure what to make of that. Either way, that's all the support conversations thus far. So, all that remains now is the support conversation between Claude and Balthus, and then any S supports that I unlock. Let's see. Might be able to get a couple of them female Byleth, but I probably won't make it a huge goal since that if I wanted any more, I'd have to run through with male Byleth. I was planning on eventually doing maddening runs on the 3 routes, but I don't know. I'll have to see how that works out. Either way, let's carry on. Alright, I decided to look ahead for this last one, so...
Hey there, Claude. Where are you headed? If you need some extra muscle, count me in.
No thanks. Not much need for heightened security at the monastery. Well, most of the time, anyway.
Ish, I can take a hint. I was just trying to help you out. The way I see it, can't do better than cozying up to thee, Claude von Regan, future leader of the Alliance.
You can get as cozy as you like, but I don't think that'll lower the price on your head.
Oh, you're
Couldn't
aware of
hurt.
that?
People trust you. They trust the folks you run with. I could use a little trust in my life.
So you're hoping this newfound trust will trick more people into lending you money? Yeah, count me out. You know, fighting debt with debt won't work, right?
Just as well. If you mess up leading the Alliance, their plan's a bust anyway, so count me out, pal. By the way, Claude, are you really the heir of House Regan?
Yes? That's my current understanding, anyway. Why do you ask?
I've never heard any talk of the last Duke Regan leaving a son behind when he died in that accident. Duke Oswald the Old. Your father? Tall tale if you ask me. And if that's not the case, then who exactly did you get your Regan blood from?
Look at you figuring things out all by yourself. Sorry to say the true story isn't all that interesting.
Point of order? Yes, it is.
I was born to an offshoot of House Regan. When my crest manifested, I was accepted into the ruling bloodline. That's all there is to it.
Nice try, but I'm not buying it. House Regan produces dukes and leads the whole of the Alliance. Not having an heir is a matter of life and death. Any relative with a crest would be accepted immediately. But no one even knew you existed until fairly recently. It's fishy, Claude. Remarkably fishy.
I think I've finally figured you out. You're working for Lawrence, aren't you?
Here's what I really can't work out. Duke Oswald's only daughter, Tiana? Whatever happened to her?
Uh-oh.
I met her a few times when I was a kid. She was a great lady. A real looker, too, let me tell you.
I see your mind was just as pure when you were a kid as it is now. How'd you even cross paths with her?
As the legitimate heir of a minor noble house, I got a pretty decent glimpse into high society.
That's fair.
Lady Tiana was something special. The stuff of dreams, really. And one day, she just vanished. Poof. Gone. I'll never forget hearing about it.
Wow. So you've had a particular interest in older women since way back when. Sorry, go on.
Really?
My old man told me I cried buckets. Even Holst lost it.
Wait, what? So, not only are you into older women, Holst is? Why isn't Holst an actual character? Why don't we ever see him? We see Lambert, who isn't even alive, but we see Holst. What?
Holst? As in Holst the Indomitable Alliance General? Huh. I never knew that.
Yeah. And after a while, I heard a strange rumor. Some say Lady Tiana left to live in a far-off land. Once I remembered that, the rest fell into place.
Right. Say, have you considered minding your own business? Isn't that enough of a handful as it is?
Whoa, I have never heard Claude speak to someone like that before. Whoa. That is far more direct than I have ever seen Claude act. I'm glad I looked this up.
If you want to have a real discussion sometime, bring me facts. Not a bunch of tired gossip. Deal? Anyway, Teach is waiting for me at the training ground, so I better
React
get
like this. He's onto you.
Nice try, Claude, but I'm onto you.
He knows he's onto you.
Hey, Claude, care to pick up where we left off? I got some time to kill.
You'll have to kill time on your own, I'm afraid. My calendar's full at the moment.
Ah, don't be like that. You're not afraid I'm gonna expose your true identity, are you? I would never. Besides, my own bloodline isn't so lofty that I can get away with something like that.
I bet your father would just love to hear you say that. And the Albrecht family is from a distinguished noble house, so I'm not sure what you mean.
Not as distinguished as you would think. And my mom wasn't born a noble.
Ah, the plot thickens. So, your mother was a commoner then?
In a sense, but it's complicated. Listen up, and I'll tell you a little story.
Huh.
You know Kupala, yeah? Those folks have been living in the mountains of Fodlan's throat for ages.
I know it well. Tales of that place were carried on the wind to where I grew up. Here's my favorite. In a land surrounded by tall mountains, untouched by civilization, lies a hidden village. The people who live there, the mystical Kupala tribe. They say that an ancient and powerful bloodline runs through their veins to this very day. Don't try to find them, people say, or you're liable to get hexed. Or so the tale goes. That part was probably added to spice up the story a bit, but even so, there's certainly a mysterious lot.
They don't leave their homeland too often, so it's only natural that strange rumors would arise.
And your mother, is she really some kind of Kupala princess or something?
Not a princess, but she was born and raised there. She left, got lost, and was rescued. By my dad. Ah, he fell head over heels for her. Made her his wife. That's when her troubles really started.
Did your father tell anyone where she was from?
Why would he?
Of course not. But it didn't matter. She was still a stranger of questionable lineage. The family treated her horribly. That eventually led to them splitting up and my dad remarrying.
That's not an uncommon circumstance for a noble house. Where is she now?
With nowhere else to turn, she went back to Kupala, even though my pops tried to convince her to stay.
I'm guessing you two left for much the same reason. Too hard to put up with the foul treatment, right?
That's part of it. If my mom had been Fodlan nobility, my life would have been very different. So, what do you think? Did I drum up some empathy? After all, half of your blood comes from...
I hear you, Balthus. Can't say I don't empathize, though our
Did
circumstances
you figure it
are
out,
pretty
Balthus?
So you admit it then? I knew I was right about you. My instincts are second to none.
Your instincts, right. Look, if it makes you happy, you just go on believing whatever you want.
Wait.
I'll do just that. Say, Claude, it'd be a shame if your true identity was exposed, yeah? Real shame. I'm thinking you better... set up a meeting between me and your mom?
Wait, what?
She was my first crush, after all.
Excuse
I
me?
had it bad for her back in the day. I'm still haunted by the fact that I never had the chance to tell her.
Are you seriously having this conversation?
Bothersome. And that aside, you do know that time didn't exactly stop for her, right?
Not a problem, pal. Age is beauty.
Wah. Excuse me. You have problems, Balthus. You has problems.
Balthus, you and I are of like minds, so I'd like to get your opinion on something.
Oh, is this about the age thing? As a rule, so long as she's younger than my own mother,
Wait,
it's
what?
fair game, pal.
Noted, but that's not what I wanted to talk about. Ever, really. Do you remember what I said about the first thing we need to accomplish in this war?
That bit about busting open the lid that keeps the people of Fodlan from the rest of the world?
That's right. I'd like to know your thoughts on the matter.
Okay. Well, everyone seemed to eat it up, so I'm fine with it too. Certainly not against it. In a world like that, my mom wouldn't have to fear what others think of her. But it all hinges on if you can shape reality into the vision you have in mind. That's no small task.
I had a feeling you'd say something like that.
Where are you going with this? Is this how your paired ending turns out, where you basically both work toward that aim and within Almyra?
Please, go on.
I'm all for mixing up different ways of life and bloodlines. But who knows what it'll really mean for Fodlan? We'll be free from things that previously bound us. Walls will crumble. Things will change. Drastically. At the same time, the world we've defended for years could easily become unrecognizable. Everything we've built up until now could fall to ash. Hard to say how it'll all shake out. All we can do is wait and see. Maybe all will end well. Or maybe not.
All I want is for everyone to accept each other. That's the ideal I'm striving for. It's deceptively simple when you think about it.
Look, if getting exactly what you wanted was easy, I'd be drowning in gold. Don't get caught up in the stakes. You just have to throw the dice and see where they fall.
Good advice. That's all we can ever do, really. I just have to do my best and prepare for the worst.
You got it. I can't help with funding, obviously, but you have my support.
Speaking of funds, you're not planning to sell the secrets of my origins for a quick payoff, right? There are people with deep pockets who'd love to see me fall. They'd pay well for information like that.
Don't worry, Claude, I wouldn't sell out a friend. Not even for a small fortune. Most likely.
Yeah, that's not worrisome at all.
Fair.
I was just kidding. After all, I have that promise to look forward to.
Seriously?
Won't let me down, right?
Oh, of course not. And that promise was what exactly?
About hooking me up with your mom.
Oh.
After we bust open that lid, of course.
Of course. Age difference aside, you know she's married, right?
I'm not a loon, Claude. I'm not trying to marry her. I just want some closure with my childhood crush.
Is that a fact? Well, it'll be interesting to see whether my father can kill you before my mother beats him to it.
That I want to see. And it looks like I've got a way to look at the paired endings. Actually, crap, I lost that link when I reinstalled Windows. Okay, I'm gonna go hunt it down. Alright, so let's see. Claude, here it is. Perhaps unexpectedly, Balthus accompanied Claude upon his return to his homeland of Almyra. While Claude assumed the role of a politically active prince, Balthus spent his days drinking, flirting, and brawling. As soon as Claude inherited the throne, however, all that changed. In the blink of an eye, Balthus became son-in-law to the great commander Nadir, and took up a position of military command in service to Claude's stated goal to improve relationships with Fodlan. To foster trust, Claude frequently sent Balthus into Fodlan on missions to help quell revolts begun by Imperial loyalists. Huh. Interesting, that's not exactly how I expected it to go. Son-in-law to Nadir. Huh. Spent his days drinking. I must have gotten into fights with people, well, in the Almyran army then, in order to get noticed. I mean, he does claim to be the king of grappling, and being from Kupala would definitely get him some interest within Almyra, so, neat. Glad to see it all worked out, even if I'm certain that Balthus did certainly try to get closure, though sad we don't ever get to see that. Still, that is fascinating. That is very fascinating. Alright, I'm glad I looked that up. Very glad I looked that up. I did not think Balthus would have a thing for that. My gosh. Alrighty then, that's enough for me. So, that will probably be the last of the support conversations unless I go and look up some of the S supports. But honestly, I've just been looking them up on my own time, just whenever the hell I feel like it, so... Apart from maybe seeing a little more about the commentary with the main story and replaying everything on Maddening mode, it looks like my time here is done. So, should be able to get the review out before too long, though I've got another game I want to talk about first. I haven't finished it at the time of recording, but the audio has been recorded for that video, so you'll probably see it all. You've probably seen it already. So, for now. Alright, I did it. I ended up going straight from the last battle to this one, and I ended up regretting it a little bit because a little under level with some of the characters, but you know what? I pulled through. So, which one did I pick?
Hey, you! We need to talk. Now.
Not how I expected this to start. What's wrong?
You did it for me, didn't you? Without even taking credit for it. Admit it, pal. You ordered the church to protect the people of Kupala. Because of you, those mountains will be considered church turf, and the Eastern Church will be restored.
I can't take all the credit.
Sure. But you know, saving those folks was my gig, not yours. Now that the war's over, I'll just spit it out. I was starting to get excited about fighting that fight. Guess you could say I was disappointed to find you'd beaten me to the punch. But what matters is results, so thank you. There, I said it. Won't say it again. There's still a lot to figure out. The road ahead won't be easy, but this was a giant leap forward.
You're welcome.
Right. There's, one more thing I need to get off my chest.
Or on it, as the case may be. What's that?
I'm a mess. I wasn't planning on doing this just yet, but you forced my hand. I was gonna wait until I had figured out a way to ensure Kupala's safety first. Guess that excuse is out the window. So now, it's time to take the biggest gamble of my life. I'm prepared for the worst. Expected it, really.
Just...
You, marry me, pal!
Wait, if that was in parentheses, does that mean Byleth was thinking it, or... I'm assuming... Was Byleth thinking it or saying it? Because honestly, Byleth needs to talk more.
Look, I know it's a big ask. I'm beefy, but that aside, I'm not the most eligible bachelor on the block. But I promise to become... better. Not so selfish and careless. I want to support you, make you happy. The life I live makes me comfortable, but... comfort be damned! I need you by my side. Always. If I'm not good enough now, just give me time. A year, maybe. 2 years. 5 tops.
God, you're worse than Ash. A year, eh?
Okay, you called my bluff. I meant... a figurative year. I mean, why not work on myself with you? That makes sense, I swear.
I like seeing Balthus flustered. Just teasing.
Oh, you had me going there. But that's a promise, yeah? To have and to hold and so on? I'm not the sort to wait around once I know what I want. Let's get hitched right away. I know a guy.
You seem to know every guy.
Couldn't have said it better myself. Guess a lavish party is in order now. We have a lot to do. Speaking of lavish, I know I need to sort out my finances. We'll need a house and all that good stuff.
You're talking to the next ruler. I don't think that'll be a problem.
Hey, maybe we can just shack up here at the monastery. What do you think? No need to decide now, my love. Let's just focus on this being happy business. The rest will work itself out. It feels like a lifetime ago. But remember when you told me you'd protect me? At the time, I had no idea how to take it. I wasn't sure I could bear letting someone else look after me. I was sure that in the end, I'd be the one protecting you. That I'd be the strong one. That's how it's always been for me. Guess I was wrong.
You protected me too.
Huh. Suppose so. In the end, we protected each other. To join our strength. To look after you. And be brave enough to let you look after me. That's what marriage is all about, right? Being with you is so natural it must be fate. But, you know, if fate were a thing. That is.
I'm the progenitor god. We'll be fine.
From now on, we'll keep looking out for each other. You can bet on it.
Alrighty then. That was perfect. That was perfect. I'm curious to see what Yuri's will look like now that I've done that, but I really don't relish the thought of fighting through that battle again. I think I'll want to grind a metric ton so I don't have to work as hard next time, because my gosh, it was tough. I mean, in the back of my mind, I knew it was gonna be because I jumped right in and some of my characters were only level 41, especially since I wasn't too happy with how Balthus was doing, but funnily enough, fun character, favorite character of the bunch, not my least favorite unit. Funny how that works out. Either way, let's cycle through these. Yeah. I mean, technically I haven't seen some of these, but let's be honest. These aren't the ones that you care about. Really? Really? Okay then. After the war, Sedith remained at the monastery to rebuild the church. Several years of hard restorative work later, he received a letter from Manuela. She wrote that she had traveled to a small, war-torn town and opened up a school for children. Reminded of the beauty and compassion in Manuela's heart, Sedith was moved to leave the monastery and join her there. As they worked together to manage the budding institution, the couple fell in love and were eventually remarried. It is said that their students were overjoyed. Really? How'd that work out? Though Fodlan had changed, Hanneman's goal remained unwavering, to determine the workings of the crests and to do away with the inequality caused by them. To that end, his research resulted in magical tools which could be used even without the aid of crests. This proved to be yet another worthwhile discovery by the father of crestology. Hanneman also became a father in a more literal sense, by raising many okay, no, I don't feel comfortable about that. Why did I seek that out? I mean, I know- What? This- Huh? I expected Caspar, what? When Rhea absconded her post as Archbishop, Catherine resigned from the Knights of Syros and accompanied her to a life of seclusion in the Red Canyon. They were joined by Catherine's new husband, Linhardt, who continued his crest research at Catherine's behest. Motivated by his wife and freed from all other distractions, Linhardt made new discoveries at an astonishing rate. The fruit of his research brought about dramatic changes in the world of crest research, but for the sake of his privacy, Linhardt always published his papers anonymously. Alright, fair enough. Now these two. After the war, Constance and Mercedes traveled together to the School of Sorcery in Ferdiad. There, they immersed themselves in magical research and, with the help of their friends and all the school's resources, made one astounding discovery after another. Their considerable achievements led to the revitalization of both House Nouvelle and House Martreats. The pair grew increasingly close over the years, so that, as time wore on, they became less like friends and more like family. It is said that years later, each began to speak of the other as if she were a dear sister. Oh, that's fine. I think I saw this one the last time I went through, but After the war, Ash was formally knighted and appointed the new head of House Gaspard, which had no successors. He soon married Happy, whose competence lent much reliability to the governance of their territory. The ruling couple developed a frank and earnest relationship with their people, and the territory prospered. They were also blessed with many children, and their home was always so busy and full of merriment that there was never an occasion to sigh. It is said that Happy took such delight in recounting Ash's stories to their children that it became hard to believe she had ever despised knights. Oh, that's where Caspar went. I can't remember if Petra returned to her homeland of Brigid and inherited the throne from her grandfather. As a ruler, she declared independence from Fodlan, and renegotiated Brigid's diplomatic ties to Fodlan and Dagda on more equal terms. At every step along the way, she was accompanied and supported by her husband, Caspar, who had left Fodlan behind to be with her. It is said that the people of Brigid were initially suspicious of the union, due to Caspar's relationship to a nemesis of their homeland, but that his tireless efforts on Brigid's behalf endeared them to him over time. It certainly helped that he made the Queen very happy. Bernadetta's struggle with anxiety made it difficult for her to take over as the head of House Varley. She became so overwhelmed that when Yuri chanced to visit her domain, she literally grabbed hold of him and refused to let go. Baffling as it was for Yuri at the time, this peculiar state of affairs eventually led to marriage. The common folk were initially perplexed, but over the years they became grateful for Count Varley's surprising husband. His presence kept her calm and allowed her to deal with her people more frequently and easy. As a result, her talent for governance blossomed, and her rule was widely celebrated. Fair enough. Not a bad outcome for him, honestly. After ascending to the throne as the first leader of the United Kingdom of Fodlan, Violet announced her marriage to Balthus. The people were reluctant to accept the union at first, considering his reputation, but his natural charisma and speeches and his ability to exceed expectations eventually won their blessing. Though most noted for his strength and dedication as a bodyguard, Balthus also provided counsel. It is said that many civil and diplomatic reforms owe their origins to his advice. Fair enough. Alrighty then. I guess I'll have to go and see what the others have to say for themselves. Hopefully they end up being interesting. Alright. Yeah, shut up. Alright, so, now all that remains is to actually do the review. That's gonna take a while. Honestly, I have no idea if this will even get published, but honestly, I'm kind of hoping it does, actually, because it's been interesting to look at this, and honestly, when I look back to what I've played at this game, that's really what I look for. It isn't looking at the combat and seeing how I tried to make it work. It's really just getting to see the characters interact more. And honestly, I'm really grateful that all of the support conversations are in their own little place on the game so that I can just look back at them at any time I want without having to scour through the footage. At that point, the only reason I would do so would be to see my initial reactions, and to be fair, that can be amusing to see what I did and didn't call, especially given how Alex Jones I was at the start of my live streams. But at the same time, there we are. So, by the time this is out, the review will probably be out, so hopefully you enjoyed it. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all later.